has been one of the most ardent critics of how the administration has handled the Benghazi attack. He joins us live tonight from Columbia, South Carolina. Good evening, Senator.
Thanks for having me.
Senator, let's first start with your reaction to the release of this Tunisian.
I really don't know if it's justified or not, but it's been like pulling teeth to get the administration to engage. I wrote the Tunisian government saying it was unacceptable not to grant an interview without a lawyer. They eventually did give the FBI access to this man. I don't know the result of the interview, but I'll try to get to the bottom of it and see if it was justified. You know, it didn't take much effort on my part to get the Tunisians to cooperate. I can only imagine what would have happened if the President of the United States had picked up the phone call and called the Prime Minister and said this is a priority for our country.
Do you think that the administration, that the national security effort of this administration is really going after those responsible for the Benghazi, Libya attack?
It doesn't seem to be that way. They seem to be more focused on getting the episode behind them. I don't have anything against John Brennan personally, but I don't think we should appoint a CIA director until the CIA clarifies who changed the talking points that were given to Susan Rice 3 weeks before our election, deleting references to Al-Qaeda. I've been told 3 stories. The Director of National Intelligence Office said they changed the talking points. Then the FBI said, no, it might have been us because of an ongoing criminal investigation. And the final answer, so to speak, was the CIA believes they may have changed the talking points, deleting references to Al-Qaeda. I'm not going to confirm John Brennan or anyone else until the administration shares information with the Congress about who deleted references to Al-Qaeda 3 weeks before the election. I think it was purposely done, and I want to know who did it and why before we move forward.
So you're committed to holding that nomination up?
Yeah, and I don't want to, but I'm not going to let this administration get away from having to be held accountable. The State Department, you're going to hear from Hillary Clinton. But who did change the talking points? Who did take Al-Qaeda out? And what did the President do, Brett, during the 7 hours? They're making 2 movies about his strong leadership in the bin Laden raid. This administration leaked every detail about the bin Laden raid so the whole world would know how strong they are on national security. When you have a major debacle like Benghazi, you can't get the basic information 4 months later. So I don't think they're pursuing the offenders very aggressively, quite frankly. I think they're stonewalling the Congress, and John Brennan nor anyone else should be confirmed as acting new director of the CIA until the CIA accounts for their role in changing the talking points.
Senator, the White House press secretary was asked about the potential holdup of Brennan by you and your statement today at the White House press briefing.
It would be unfortunate, I think, if in pursuit of this issue, which was highly politicized, the Senate would hold up the nomination of John Brennan to be director of the Central Intelligence Agency. We certainly discussed a lot last year, late in the year, the essential irrelevance of the issue of what was said on a series of Sunday shows to what actually happened in Benghazi. And this president is committed to ensuring that those who were responsible for the deaths of 4 Americans in Libya be brought to justice.
Your response to that, Senator?
It was the President of the United States who picked Susan Rice to go on national television 3 weeks before an election to say that the consulate in Benghazi was strongly, significantly secured, that this was a result of a spontaneous riot based on a video, and that Al-Qaeda had been decimated. Those talking points did not relate to reality. I think they were trying to create the narrative that President Obama had decimated Al-Qaeda at the expense of the truth. 4 months later, we don't know who took the references to Al-Qaeda out. 3 different agencies have been implicated in this, and we're not moving forward till we get to the bottom of what happened in Benghazi. The only leverage I have is this nomination. I don't don't want to hold up the nomination just for the heck of it. I want to find out who changed the talking points, deleting references to al-Qaeda. The State Department has clearly indicated this place was a death trap. What did the president do? What did he know about Benghazi? And what kind of leadership did he exert on 9/11? What was he doing for 7 hours? It's not unfair to get answers to these questions. This administration's stonewalling the Congress. They're trying to get Benghazi in their, behind them politically in their rearview mirror, and I'm going to stand firm to get the basic answers that should have been given to the Congress months ago. This is a big deal to me. We need to learn from what happened, how this place became a death trap, why we couldn't respond on September 11th better than we did, and why and how Susan Rice and the president himself told stories for weeks after the attack that had no basis in reality.
Senator, do you know where the survivors of the Benghazi attack are today?
You know, I don't know where the survivors are, who they are, and the survivors were interviewed the day after the attack in Germany, and the CIA told me they couldn't get the FBI interview because it was a criminal investigation. Have we gone back to the pre-9/11 stovepiping of intelligence where the FBI can't call the CIA to find out whether or not it was a terrorist attack? This whole thing is a learning opportunity, and I really do believe that on President Obama's watch, al-Qaeda's gotten stronger, not weaker, and Exhibit A of leading from behind is Benghazi, and there are more Benghazis to come. This was a death trap. The agencies in question are not talking to each other. They're not sharing information with the American people, and before we move forward with a new CIA director, I want to know what the CIA did regarding Benghazi and who changed those talking points. Who took al-Qaeda out of the talking points?
Last thing, Senator, I have 15 seconds. You know pressure will build. Democrats will start saying that this is a holdup and it is hindering the president's ability to have his national security team at full strength. How will you respond?
I hope Democrats care about Benghazi as much as I do to find out what happened, why information was taken out of talking points that were really unjustified. What did the president do? Let's learn together from the Benghazi debacle and not hide the facts from the Congress and the American people. I hope Democrats understand this is an important event. Bin Laden raid deserves to be celebrated. Benghazi deserves to be understood and explained.
Senator Graham, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
A company that received